see my medals behind me? My world.
Always learning and growing, attracting the right people, and keeping your vision in focus every day. This is the Brian Covey Show.
Well, that was cool. That was a pretty good intro to kick it off. Welcome, Anthony. Thanks for making time. We've got everybody jumping on Facebook, ready to kick this off. So thank you very much for joining.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah. So thought we'd kick off this way. This is always fun. We're going to do an intro because I think everybody knows who you are, but I always find the accomplishments you've had and everything you've done. I know we're going to cover a lot of that today. But for those of you that do not know Anthony, he is first-generation American and self-made entrepreneur. And you guys probably know loanDepot, obviously. Many of you work with our team here, and that's why you join. But you may not know that Anthony's previous businesses and everything that he's done leading up to this really has prepared him for it. And over the last 10 years, as he's built out loanDepot, we're going to cover some of the highlights, the wins, and all the accolades there, while we also talk about the next 10 years. What does that look like, and everything from Anthony's perspective, running a large organization of over 7,000 team members now from this new work from home environment. And Anthony is one of those, if you know him, highly competitive, avid fisherman. You've probably seen that there. That's also carried over in his philanthropy, where he's partnered up with War Heroes on Water and Freedom Alliance to really give back. And most recently during COVID, you guys probably saw the announcement that Anthony gave over $1 million to the frontline workers right now to support them. And there's a lot of other things that he's doing to help out, to make sure that we're giving back to the communities and supporting the communities we get to serve. But I'm super excited, Anthony, because we get a chance to talk live and to share some of that history, not only about yourself, but the amazing company that now 10 years old, still young, but 10 years old.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. And there's a lot of challenges with working from home, such as the fact that my fridge is only 13 steps away.
Yeah,
that's a bad thing. But you know, to do things like this, it's great. Social distancing or physical distancing has actually encouraged social behavior. So I discovered how to, utilize video to connect with people. And, whether it's Zoom or WebEx or this media or using good old, FaceTime, we do what we need to do to stay connected because relationships are still very important.
Yeah, I think that's what we've taken from all this is we've all had to adjust and figuring out getting comfortable with video and even like, okay, what's my home setup to my camera, to my mic and all that. And, I know we were talking before we went live and we're 7,000 team members. And we were talking about Foothill Ranch and then in Franklin, Tennessee, where we've got large call centers, large buildings that used to be full and you drive through a parking lot and it's empty. So what's that like as you go by those and you kind of know the team members are all working from home and out there? What's that difference for you as the CEO over, all 7,000?
It's surreal. Our company has over 1 million square feet of real estate, and we continue to support the landlords that we have, contracted with to continue to pay, as you can imagine, a handsome amount, owning over 1 million square feet of real estate. And that real estate is just sitting there vacant. Where is that going into the future? I'm not really sure, but something dramatic is happening around the world. This is obviously being pushed by a health event across the world. But is this an Amazon moment where you're shopping online instead of in a retail store? Is this an Amazon moment where you're moving workforce more remotely or to home instead of coming into a physical office? I don't know, but I think you're going to see a lot of that develop over the next few months because vaccine's not coming anytime soon. There's hopes that it would be sometime end of this year.
Yeah.
Even if that's the case, which would be best case scenario, what happens between now and the end of the year, I think will be developed.
And it's interesting is even with our teams, some people are, anxiously wanting to get back in an office. Others have found a new groove and a new rhythm that they're saying, you know what, I've got a good setup at home. Maybe their kids go back to school. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
They have all these variables that they're trying to figure out, which will be interesting to unfold, and watching some other large companies across the country say, maybe we don't go back, right? Like you have that choice, that freedom of choice that could play out.
Yeah. Keeping everybody healthy is job number one.
Yeah.
We don't manage health to percentages. We manage health to no one gets infected. That's our model, is no one gets infected while they are under the responsibility of loanDepot, period. What you do on your own life and what you do on your own time, that's a personal decision. But at the workplace, that's our motivation, is to manage to zero.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, we're just going to have to see where this leads us. And, certainly in a for-profit company such as ours, productivity is important, especially you have 7,000 people. If you lose, 1 inch of productivity, it could be devastating for a for-profit enterprise as far as efficiencies.
Sure.
Managers are there for a reason. Managers are there to manage performance, manage personnel, et cetera. Now doing it remotely, it's going to create a different set of challenges. And I'm sure the world, the country, and us, we will overcome it. But managing and monitoring performance from afar is going to create a different set of challenges.
Yeah, we've talked to our team, and I know a lot of people have looked at this. What are the new skills required in moving forward? And really, I looked back and I thought, wow, like you're one of the leaders talking about fintech before it was even cool and popular, talking about technology in the mortgage space. So I'd love for us just to shift back and talk about really now we're 10 years old at loanDepot in the company, and really how you kind of in your mind developed and had the vision for a company that is multi-channel. I think about with direct and retail and wholesale and how the company has grown up over the last 10 years. Give us a little background of what that vision was and really that first 10 years of what that evolution looked like for you as the CEO, building out now what is a top lender in the entire country.
technology is a journey. It is not a destination. It's not a project. Companies that do not understand technology and do not have the DNA of utilizing technology to help you compete, you just can't pretend. You either understand technology or you don't. You can't have an iPhone X without the pain of going through iPhone 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. There is a constant residual and constant journey and constant evaluation, improvement of technology. Now, not only do you have to have the courage and the dedication, the commitment to technology, but you have to have the source of funding to fuel it. And this is where it's really important for all of us at Loan Depot and others to understand, and that is, we are now a company that is we're funding $7+ billion. We're originating to fund $8 billion pretty soon on a monthly basis. That amortizes a lot easier to invest into technology if we were half of our size, for example. So we're getting into the sweet spot now, being on our 11th year, not quite 11 years old, but we made the early decisions to invest into technology. In 2015, we spent $80 million alone, and that took some guts to do that, right? But the residuals of that investment is starting to take shape, and it's not just, Brian, it's not just the tools that you work every day,
right?
It's the mellow suite of products, right? It's how it makes you feel, right? You feel contemporary. You feel like you have a fighting chance. You feel like you're on the right ship. Yeah. You feel powerful. You feel confident, because that's what technology does for you. So technology is not a light switch. It is a drip, 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 and it's a constant journey, and there is no destination. So you better know where you're going, or else you're going to get hurt.
And I love that. And you've shared that from day one when we first connected up a few years ago. And I remember you sharing that, and I thought about, and we can all pretty much relate to the iPhone. I thought what you just stated, talking about the feelings and how it makes you feel. And that's been something like a passion of ours, is that experience and delighting the customer. You've said that so many times. It's just ingrained into our DNA and our culture and what's there. And so I love that the first 10 years was, as you talk about, it's still the journey and you're building it. We've learned a lot through that. And I think we've got some cutting edge technology, but how we feel and how we're then able to make our customers feel has always been at the center, of what we've done. And it's been one that I've watched even in just the few years that I've been here. The evolution is happening so fast, I feel like right now, though, through this. And maybe it's because we've been forced to work from home and we're having to embrace technology, that when you can't see a customer and sit down face to face, or you can't show up to a closing, which I know some are happening, but you're almost forced to embrace the tools that were there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really a surreal time. I still remember when we decided to push everyone to work from home. And by the way, we are an essential business, so we could, by the law, keep everybody in the office by law. But we made the decision as a company what was fundamentally right. Yeah. And that is to keep everybody safe. So we pushed everybody home. And I will tell you, for the next 3 days, I did not sleep, because I don't know if we're going to have a company, right? I mean, who has the, sort of forward thinking to do a drill to say, hey, we're going to test next week where everybody just stays at home and work. Let's see if it works, right? That drill's never been done. So this is real life. We pushed everybody. And it was amazing to watch 7,000 Team Loan Depot members just rise. Yeah. Everybody said, look, we're here to do a job. Our job is important. What we do is important during this time, to make sure that we finance the homes that people are sheltering in. And Brian, that pride just developed incredibly, right?
Yeah. It grew. And even, I look at the power of social media now, to where we're not able to connect in person. And as we would have those meetings throughout the year, we'd all get together, whether it was out in Irvine or we'd connect. Now I have found we've actually deepened relationships. So your point, the connections we've all made, where I know people's family and I get to see what they're doing. And it's almost like we got to pull back the curtain in parts of our lives to say, hey, here's everything. Like my kids may interrupt a call. You may hear the dogs barking. Like life's going to happen. And I'm curious for you, Anthony, it's like, as the CEO and you're seeing all this unfold, I love how you talked about, 3 days not sleeping. That's real. That was, and for all of us as leaders, we're all trying to make sure, is our team okay? Are they adjusting? Because it's not just, you got productivity, you got the mental health. Some of them, they went to a safe place and they're good. Some are still adapting to working from home. What does life look like now on the other side? So kind of moving through it, we've got a little more clarity. Still don't know when we're going to go back to somewhat of what it used to look like, but as the CEO today, what are the things you're kind of focused on and leading through right now?
The number one job of a CEO is to anticipate where the market is going. And then you place your bets based on planning, proper execution, and then the accountability towards a planned execution and the modification and course correction if the planning and execution doesn't work out the way it needs to be. And then figuring out resources that you have, whether it's financial resources or human resources, to lead those charges so that you can get to your destination or your objectives. The reason why it is so stressful right now for me personally is because this is an unprecedented time where I can't read where this is going.
Yeah.
And this is why it's creating the quote unquote grumpiness, because I can't see that far. The visibility right now is very foggy.
Yeah.
And if I can't see far, I can't drive. And that's where I am at. And as a growth company and as a CEO, I want to drive. I want to go. And look, we're doing fine. We're doing great. I feel great that we protected 7,000 jobs and we're growing and we're funding 21,000 home loans a month to Americans. That has to mean something, right?
Yeah.
But as a CEO, we have to live for 6 months from now. We have to live for 4 quarters, which is a year from now.
Yeah.
And right now, Brian, it is foggy, man.
Yeah.
You can't see it. So we got to see what happens to everybody's personal choice in consumer consumption, and then what what does to industry. But so far, this country is incredible. I mean, just look what's happening out there right now. You have 30 million plus people that have claimed unemployment, and housing is still strong. Stock market is still strong. It's unbelievable. But what does this mean? 30 plus million unemployed, but things are still strong. Are we at the crest? Is it a bubble, or is it a V-shaped recovery? I don't know, but we really can't come up with any solid planning until that happens. But in the meantime, we got to make sure that we service our customer.
Yeah.
We got to absolutely make sure that we care for our customers and we care for each other. We need to make sure the trains leave on time, leave the station on time every single day, and we repeat that. And then we just do the best we can until the fog lifts, and then we can figure out, okay, that's the direction we're going to go as an organization that is now becoming one of the front runners in the industry.
I love it. And you nail it. The fogginess is probably the visual I get, and so many mixed signals, to your point, of unemployment over here, but then stock market and other things, and housing has remained exceptionally strong when many thought it wouldn't. And so we have a big role to play. And I know you take that seriously and are leading from the front, not just for our company, but even in social media. I get the comments from people all the time, Anthony. They go, man, I love your CEO just coming out and just putting things out there and calling it like it is, right? And sharing real life, what's happening. I think people want to know that. So when we came in, the year looked a little different after our first 10. As we started looking at this next X, the next 10 years, what would be some of the things you would say over the next 10 years in the industry space for mortgage that you see might evolve or might be possibilities that we should be thinking about or be aware of for the next 10 years?
Well, our market continues to consolidate. The top 5 players are getting larger.
Yeah.
So, within this sort of recent cycle, you're seeing the larger players become stronger. And I don't think anyone needs to be fearful of that, because that is just the free enterprise system, right? The top 5 player or the top 2 player right now, if you talking about just retail, we're currently in number 2. But if you look at the top 2, the market share is still barely, under double digits. So it's going to continue to consolidate. So I think that's going to happen. And what I've been saying, and I made a very public presentation on stage in the digital conference 4 years ago, that I think that horizontally stretching products and services. You see other competitors in the real estate space, such as Zillow, trying to get into mortgages, right? You see Open Door trying to get into mortgages.
Yeah.
And right now, today, they're all finding out, oh, shoot, this mortgage stuff is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
And, we welcome competition, but look, you got to be a weirdo like us to really understand mortgages in every way, shape, or form, right? I mean, MSRs, hedging, credit, risk, capacity, turnover, recruiting. I think multi-products is going to continue to expand, and I call that outfit shopping. Rather than just selling a shirt, you're going to be selling an outfit. And you see real estate companies trying to do mortgage. You see mortgage companies trying to do real estate. So I think that direction is going to continue to blossom, because at the end of the day, the customer wants service, they want value, and they want one brand. And if that one brand can offer more products and services, you're going to see customers embrace that. So in the next 10 years, you're going to see strong mortgage players getting larger. I think smaller mortgage players must come up with a niche or boutique feel. And then the larger players will start to expand. They have to expand their products and services. If you're retail, if you're not retail, it's a different model.
Yeah, different game there. Let's shift, because I know we could talk for hours, and I'm always just a student listening and learning from you. And I think our industry, some of my friends at other companies always ask, hey, what's Anthony saying? What's he talking about? So I know we could go on with mortgage, but I'd love to highlight, and you really introduced our team, and we've gotten behind your passion around fishing, and then the War Heroes on Water group and Freedom Alliance. We got to meet some of the crew. Some of our team came out. And I'd love for you just to share a little bit about that, just your passion and how that led into really now all that you're doing for that group, and really to give back. Because I think that for me kind of creates the legacy and what some people maybe don't know about you, but I know it's a passion of yours.
Yeah. So just a little background. I mean, we all have, sort of our hobbies and sort of our, relief valves. Ocean for me has always been there for me. Early in high school, I used to work on fishing boats. I talk about that story quite a bit. I used to work all day for $15. Now, $15 back then is a lot more than $15 today, but nevertheless, I used to clean and fillet fish for 25 cents. So, fishing found me, the ocean found me very, very early on. I stuck with it through this entire time. And, as my financial resources, fortunately grew, my fishing program and my boat program has grown, and it is now one of the most unique fishing programs in the world, with yachts throughout the world. And my passion is big game fishing. And what I've been doing over the course of all this time is I've been taking out lots of vets, and I really enjoy spending time with these men and women. Mm-hmm. Because they teach me a lot. They teach me about what it's like to be selfless. And they teach me what it's like to reach an objective and to do what you love to do. Listen, we have a voluntary military system. These men or women, they're not going into the military because, they can't get a job. These are heroes. These are people that is the backbone of this wonderful country that I've been fortunate enough to live in and to raise my family in. And the reason why this country is so great is because of jewels like them.
Yeah.
I complain when the Starbucks line is too long. These people, they're missing ear. They have brain fluids. They're missing a leg. And they are so appreciative of this country and the ability for them to serve. The only regret they all have, common regret, is they want to go back.
Yeah.
They want to see battle again because they feel like their job is not done. And, you know, and I became addicted to being around them. And many of them have become my friends. You can see, I don't know which left or right side on the screen. You can see all the coins behind me. I have 3 purple hearts behind me. And these have all become my friends. They've given me their coins. And I hear from them all the time. They're just great people, and it's been a love affair. It's just something that I'm extraordinarily passionate about. And so I started a nonprofit tournament. It's one of the most unique in the world. You know, last year we had 20 volunteer yachts from 50 to 100 feet.
Wow.
These gracious owners and friends of mine devote 4 days out of their life and take out veterans. And what's really interesting is this is truly healing because we take them for 4 days. We love and care and hang out and socialize and laugh and take them fishing for 4 straight days. And many of them have come to me and said, Anthony, this is what I needed because it was really dark for me. And the fact that all these people appreciate what I do really makes a difference. And we all know suicide rate for combat wounded veterans are very, very high.
Yeah.
So if we can save 1 or 2, then all this is worth it. And selfishly for me, they fuel me so much because they're incredible. They're heroes. That's all I can say. I mean, Land of the Brave is no joke.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Somebody put, they're getting goosebumps. I was getting goosebumps as you were telling that story. And being able to experience that was pretty incredible. So for those of you listening in, if you want to learn more, if you're on Team Loan Depot or you're just listening in and checking this out, we'll gladly connect you up and get you more info so you can participate and engage. We thank you. I mean, Anthony, from me and just the team, thanks you for just doing that and leading by example, because you've really done that in so many areas. And just want to say public thank you for that. So that kind of takes us to the last part. I would love your insight. I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of people respect you. They're looking to you, like you said earlier, leading a team of 7,000 and the accomplishments you've had. You've had a lot of experience and things you've done. What advice or what would you say around leadership and legacy? I'm always thinking about that and trying to bring on guests that talk about what's their legacy going to be. And many times it's birthed through their leadership and what they do not only in their business, but outside. What advice or challenge would you share? Just your wisdom and insights around leadership and legacy.
Well, I always joke because, you know, when you've been around as long as I have, what makes me good is because I messed everything up at least 3 times. and I learned that way. You know, we all see how the ball goes through the hoop, but there's a lot of practice behind the scenes. And, you know, certainly that's the case with us. I think with leadership, you know, you got, first of all, you got to have the why, and that is it important to you? You can't pretend to be a leader. It needs to be something that's within you. And leadership is all about setting an example. You can't ask somebody to do something that you're not willing to do yourself.
Yeah.
You need to have a high degree of self-awareness and how you're viewed by others. Relationship is important, but popularity is not. And you're not here to be popular. You know, you're here to serve your objective. And my objective is a 3-headed animal. It's very, very clear. I serve 3 parties. I serve our employees, I serve our shareholders, and I serve our customers. And I have to have equal care for all 3. I can't be 2 out of 3. If I'm 2 out of 3, I'm a failure. You got to be 3 out of 3, and that's just the way the world works for a for-profit enterprise. So, you know, find the passion, find your drive, do not pretend, and then let wisdom find you. I mean, every single day, you're going to get better. You're not going to get any smarter. Our intellect is something that we have, right? I mean, you can work on your work ethic. You can work on your own ethics. You can work on your style, but you're not going to get any smarter. You're going to get wiser. But your intelligence doesn't change. So a lot of times you just got to be patient and let wisdom come and find you. And then through, years of experience, it's all going to pile up and be advantageous for you if your passion is to lead. And if you're not, it's okay. Like I tell my kids all the time, do what gives you fulfillment. And that, at the end of the day, is more than any financial compensation can ever do for you. Compensation is not financial. Compensation is fulfillment. And if you're fulfilled, guess what? Money's a byproduct anyways.
Yeah. Wow. Anthony, I know from everybody I'm seeing the comments come over, thank you. This has been incredible. It's been just an honor to get to do this and share some of your journey and some of your story and just the insights. And I know I'll go back and listen. We'll go back and listen to this. And this has been very timely. Thank you for your leadership and all you're doing, not just with Team Loan Depot, which you're crushing it there. We all know that has been really the rock that we've leaned on you a lot during these times, asking questions, and you've led us through a pretty difficult season. And the best is ahead. Anything we didn't cover that you wanted to share before?
I do want to say that, Brian, I'm proud of you. Your numbers, they're great, but I don't really. That's not that important. But I'm proud on how you're standing up for our industry. You are the future generation. And it's important for you and our community to protect our industry, because I'm sick and tired of society looking down at what we do.
Yeah.
They need to understand, at least understand that we play a very important role in American society and helping Americans achieve their dream of home ownership. We work our tail off. You work on weekends, nights, you do whatever you need to do to help people take applications, and we need to continue to develop that trust within society of what we do. And when I'm done, it's yours. You guys have to continue on with that, because it's important for you when you go to a school event and you're meeting fellow parents, that when they learn of what you do for a living, there's a level of respect.
Yeah.
And I think that is more important than a lot of things that we do in our industry. So I want to thank you for standing up, and I want to thank you for making mortgages cool again, Brian.
Yes. Well, I'm humbled and I'm up for the challenge. You know that. I'm excited for what's ahead, and I'm just continually soaking it in and learning. So thank you for investing not just time with me, but we got to share this conversation, which is really cool, because I know there'll be a lot of lives and a lot of people impacted. They're going to be in that camp, that I see a lot of people making comments that they're going to be part of that next generation, that we get to change and rewrite some of the story going forward and really make our industry proud.
Yeah, hurry up, and all of you should rise up so this way I can go fishing more.
That's right. Anthony, thank you. Guys, we're signing off. Please give us any feedback, comments, anything that we might have missed. And hopefully we will get to do this again soon. You guys have a great rest of your day.
All right. See you later.